Let me ask you a question. Why is there no outcry from the media on the increased bullying of pro-life Christians? Because the bullies are liberal. Pro-abortion activists are now more emboldened, and now cases of physical attacks are more frequent. Pro-lifers praying on public sidewalks are cussed out and mocked. Displays are vandalized. Liberal students joke about aborted fetuses. An 82-year-old woman attacked and hospitalized. Pennsylvania Democrat Brian Sims bullies women praying outside an abortion clinic. The left is losing it. But don't stoop to their level of intolerance and lack of civility. Hollywood, the media, and public schools and universities are making disciples. For decades now, they have indoctrinated and misinformed people to the point they are easily triggered by those who have a different view, especially on abortion. Now, some of the loudest voices for tolerance have very little tolerance for Christians, and this hypocrisy is practically ignored. But the good news is Christians and conservatives and pro-lifers across the U.S. are not backing down. A huge rally was held last Friday in Philadelphia in response to Planned Parenthood advocate Representative Brian Sims harassing pro-life women outside a clinic there. Now, an interesting side note, the same Philly clinic that Sims was harassing people in front of actually failed 13 of their last 23 patient safety inspections. Now, the complicit media and those who claim they care about women's health just turn the other way. Sims actually filmed himself berating peaceful pro-life supporters, including teenage girls. The Pennsylvania Democrat actually posted the video where he harassed a woman who was quietly walking the sidewalk outside the abortion business and praying. He called her shameful, disgusting, racist, and an old white woman. Take a look.
Representative Brian Sims here, and I'm once again out in front of Planned Parenthood of Southeastern Pennsylvania. Today's protester. Now, she is an old white lady who's going to try to avoid showing you her face. These are the kind of attacks that we can expect on Planned Parenthoods in the current administration. Shame on you, ma'am, for standing out here thinking you know what's right for other people's bodies. I've got $100 to anybody who will identify any of these three.
So we're
I'm going to donate to Planned
praying
Parenthood.
For the babies.
I'm going to donate to Planned Parenthood. So look, a bunch of white people standing out in front of a Planned Parenthood, shaming people. There's nothing Christian about what you're doing.
Another disturbing story took place at the University of Texas San Antonio recently. Planned Parenthood activists showed up to mock a memorial of 911 pink crosses in the grass that Students for Life set up to represent babies who never got to live. Why? Planned Parenthood commits 911 abortions every day, affecting countless families across the country. The protesters had signs and they yelled about how they love abortion. One even pointed to the crosses and said, "Look, there's mine right there. Just watch this."
I'm just so slutty. I got pregnant, so I had to get an abortion. Jesus still loves me. Sex and abort fetuses. That's my number one thing.
But explain things just in case. And you're proud of it? I'm the nerd.
Yes, I'm super proud of it.
Up north, a similar memorial display was created at the University of Michigan, and pro-abortion students were caught on video ripping crosses out of the ground and throwing them in the trash. Someone asked one of the purple-haired activists, "Is there a reason why you're doing this?" And here's what she said.
Is there a reason why you're doing this?
Because we disagree with it.
Okay, but this isn't your property.
Because we know that having a conversation isn't going to work.
She then insisted the crosses were garbage and continued throwing them away. How tolerant of her, right? In Louisville, Kentucky, 82-year-old Donna Durning has been praying outside the Women's Surgical Center for many years, encouraging young women and offering help if they need to talk to someone. She was recently assaulted by a woman leaving the abortion clinic who shoved her on the ground, where Durning sustained a broken leg and cut on her forehead. She was rushed to the hospital where her femur was surgically repaired. Now, fortunately, the attack was captured by a street surveillance camera. Describing the incident, Durning stated, quote, "She looked and turned at me, and I gave her a sweet little card. I said, 'Honey, this is for you. If you want to talk to somebody, there's a phone number there.'" She grabbed me by both shoulders and literally threw me to the ground. In the heartbreaking video, the assailant simply turns away from her elderly, screaming victim, jumps into a car, and speeds away from the scene. Then there's Austin Beagle with pro-life organization Created Equal. He was at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He was attacked by a pro-abortion activist during a campaign called Road Trip for Life. Just moments after setting up photos of preborn infants, as well as graphic abortion images, a woman who has since been charged with misdemeanor assault confronted him and punched him. Watch.
Yes.
Is this you?
Yeah. Ma'am, don't do that. Please. Please.
You terrible person!
Please.
You terrible person!
Because every one of us has a God-given conscience, these people know deep down they're wrong. But notice how Beagle responded. After video of the incident was published online, he went on Facebook to encourage people to pray for the woman who attacked him. Amen. Though it's important to know the facts about biology and science, we also need to explain why abortion is morally wrong. So, how do we respond to bullying and hate when people react the way they do? Love your enemies and forgive them. It's not easy, but here's what the Apostle Peter reminds us to do. But if you suffer for doing good and you endure it, this is commendable before God. To this you were called, because Christ suffered for you, leaving you an example that you should follow in his steps. He committed no sin, and no deceit was found in his mouth. When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threats. Instead, he entrusted himself to him who judges justly. What we're seeing now in our culture is rebellion against the only living God, as Christians are facing unrelenting attacks from abortion extremists as well as the LGBTQ mob. In the past now, I'd get really angry about this, but now I feel sorry for them. Their only hope is in this short life. They're deceived and they need Christ. Pray for them. I'm David Fiorazo. God bless you and keep speaking the truth about things that matter.